assigning pins to guest users or creating a guest user. I'm just going to take a second here and explain what a guest user is. So there are times when in a project I'm not inviting people into my project, or certain trade workers, sub-trades that don't want to go through the whole project setup and stuff like that. So what Buildster has is an option to assign a pin to a guest user, which is essentially an email user. So what happens is that an email gets sent out to this person with a ticket with all of the appropriate information in it. Email users do show up in your project after as a guest user, and so you can kind of continue to create pins for guest users if you'd like. But essentially they're an email user. They don't need an account, and they get all the information. And then when they reply to their emails, you get all the information back in Buildster rather than in your email. So I'll show you here how this works. So I'm going to create a pin here. I'm going to go into a project that I own. And in this case here, there's a piece of fire rated drywall that someone forgot, and I'm going to create a guest user, and I'm going to send them this information. So I'm going to find the spot on the plan where I want to drop the pin, and that's right on the party wall here between these units. And I'm going to drop the pin, and I'm going to select a person. Now you'll notice at the top here, there's an orange banner that says add a guest user. So that's the option I'm going to select here. And in here, there's a space for me to fill out an email address and a name. So in this case here, I can tap the contacts, which will go to my phone. And I'm going to type in John Doe as the person I've set up. And it fills out one of my many Gmail accounts and the name John Doe. So I'm going to select next. And you'll notice here, John Doe guest appears. Now I can also add followers to this if I want. I mean, it basically acts exactly the same way as a normal pin. Everyone will get all the information, including John Doe. So if Don McLean replies or Tracy Clark adds a comment, it'll always generate an email that gets sent to John Doe, and John Doe will know exactly who is saying what. So I'm going to create this pin for John Doe. I'm going to press next, and you'll see that there's a couple followers I've added here. And I'm going to type in the location. I'll just say party wall, and enter comments is going to be extra 5/8 drywall required by inspector. Oops. Okay, I'm going to add the photo, and I have that in my gallery here, somewhere right there. And I'm just going to annotate it where the area is that I need him to put the drywall. And that's going to be, oops, right up there. And I'm going to select done. And then I'm going to create pin. Now I'm going to navigate to John Doe's email here to show you what the guest user will receive. So if you notice, if I click this pin here, it has all the regular information that any other pin has. It's got the comment history, but there's no history yet. So what I'll do now is I'll swipe up and I'll go to the Gmail address that this person has, and you'll see that John gets a Buildster auto reply, and they've been assigned a new pin. So here's what the ticket looks like. They get that the owner, being owner X, me here, in the project, the address, they can either sign up to Buildster if they want to view this in an app, and what they'll get is pretty much this exact information in their app, or they can reply to this email to provide comments and updates. So they get all the ticket information here, the date, the comment, extra 5/8 drywall required. They can even actually tap this view pin on plan button, and it should open the browser with the actual pin location, which is probably handy for them to have. So here they can kind of see where this is. Okay, so if they go back to their email now, they can see the comment history. And then let's just reply here. So John Doe is going to reply to this email here and say, sorry, this cursor is being a little funny. Sure, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so he sends an email. And now when I go back to Buildster, let's just wait a second because sometimes this can be up to 30 seconds or so. Bear with me here. And we'll tap our notifications. And we should get a comment back in the Buildster app from his email rather than going to a person's email. So basically you're funneling all your information out through Buildster to people who have accounts, to email addresses, and all their responses are populating back in the app for you. So it's very easy to kind of track. So here you see this person's made a comment. Let's tap this notification. We go to the pin and we see this unread comment here. And sure, I'll do it tomorrow. And there might be some email, kind of funny text in here, but it does say Dax sent from email. So you kind of know right off the bat that, you know, if there is any weird characters and stuff like that that sometimes show up in email, you know why. And also when all the followers make comments, again, all that information is funneled to the John Doe email user, and everything kind of funnels back to the app for you. So it's a very simple way to basically create an email and CC others and then have all that information kind of filter right back onto one pin for you. The main difference between a guest user and a project member is that a guest user can't complete a pin, and it prompts you and it tells you that in the app. So basically you have to manually archive their pins just because there's no way to do that via email. So if you're sending out guest emails, you're checking with them when they're doing it, and then you're manually archiving their pins. And that is how to create a guest user.